Welcome, welcome, crew, guys, gals, ghouls, friends, fiends, foes, whoever may be listening beyond the omniverse tonight. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high. Get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in Colorful, Colorado. It is Saturday, June 29th, Sunday, June 30th, for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. And thank you so much for joining us on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. If you're listening live, you may be listening to us on We Are Paradox Media under Spreaker.com, as well as YouTube. You can watch us there. Facebook under We Are Paradox Media, as well as Four Corners Paranormal Investigations. You can also listen on KPNL Radio, which you can find at KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com, and eTalk Radio, which you can find at etalk.tv/radio. If you want to listen in your free time, whether you're working it, or working out, just make sure you tune in wherever you listen to your podcast, and you should be able to find us there. And if you don't mind, if you're not subscribed yet, please mosey on over to our YouTube page. We Are Paradox Media, and join us there. Hey, Adrian, good to see you. All right, we got Ms. Mia over here. Let me pull her on in. Hi, Mia. I like your new pic. That's awesome. Good. How are you doing? Aw. Is it your chorus? Yeah. It's like when it rains, it pours. Yeah. I know I was gonna ask you about that. Like, how was your, like, I don't know, last few weeks or whatever been? Mine has been just hectic and chaotic, and if it can go wrong, it does go wrong, and then, just kind of looking at yourself and being like, what the fuck is wrong with me? A lot. But no, I'm just trying to. Mhm. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, my daughter and my son, my youngest, have been asking me about astrology and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not really good at that stuff. Like, I did get a book when I was like 15 or 16, and I looked into mine, but I don't know. It's really hard for me to memorize certain things like that, and it just amazes me, like when people are into numerology and all that other stuff. I'm like, wow, I did not even know how to grasp that. So when you say did you say Saturn or Jupiter? Or did you say either one of those? Saturn. Yeah, I'm not sure what's in mind, but yeah. Oh, like the karmatic or whatever payoff in the end. Yeah, for me, like, I don't know, it's like you keep trying and you keep getting, yeah, you keep getting let down, whether it's somebody else or yourself. For the most part, for me, it's myself. And I don't know, like this last week, I really took a lot of time off of Facebook, which makes me feel bad because I have not just my page, but like three other pages. And um, I'm just like, I just need to step back from all that and try to reconfigure and get some rest and like reevaluate what I need to do, where I need to put my energy, etc. It's like I'm freaking tired already. It seems like I'm tired all the time, but now I feel like I'm working extra hard on stuff and I don't know, trying to just figure stuff out. So how do you figure out like okay. Right? Ugh. I know we got July coming up on Monday. It's going to be July already, unless you're across the pond that's Sunday. But man, I don't know. It's been so hot already. So I'm just like, July is generally like really hot. So I'm really not looking forward to it. Right? Yeah. Feel ya. So how would someone go about figuring out what planets are in their chart? Like how does all that stuff work? Can you explain it to us? Is it too complicated? right? I don't know. And like, I have this medication I've been taking, and I just read on it the other day because I'm checking out the label and everything. Yesterday was my last dose. You're not supposed to quit taking this medication, but for some reason the doctor rejected the prescription. I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Like, you're not supposed to just automatically stop taking this stuff. So her assistant was getting with her to see why she rejected it. But I'm reading on there, and I've been, instead of taking it at night, I take it in the morning or afternoon, when I get up. And it says, may cause drowsiness. Be careful when you're using or driving a vehicle or using machinery, etc. I'm like, oh shit, like I don't remember reading this before, but maybe I should go back to taking it at night. Maybe that'll help with my sleep schedule. And yeah, like you're saying with the moon, I don't know. I've been taking melatonin to go to sleep, and it was working really good for a while now. It just doesn't seem to be working. Like I said, I've been like thinking a lot about things, and your mind and your thoughts go into overdrive, and it's really hard for me to silence my thoughts and stuff. But yeah, I'll let you know if I get any energy on Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah, it was this medication to, oh, it's supposed to help me quit smoking, but it's also like, I guess an anti-anxiety or whatever sort of medication. Um, and that worked at first, and then um, I always fall off the wagon when it comes to that, because I get stressed out, and then I'm like, I want to smoke, even though smoking doesn't really relax you. It makes me feel relaxed, and three different vapes in like the last 3 months have freaking disappeared. So I think the takers are taking them. So when my vapes disappear, I go back to Swisher Sweets, which is not good, but whatever. But yeah, please continue with what you were saying. Sorry to interrupt you there. Mhm. Yes, I accident. Yeah, I know. I accidentally got a rooster. I told the lady, I'm like, I don't want any roosters. I just want hens because I'm not trying to, breed or anything. And started off with 12. Poor Carol ended up in the tree fort with no head. We don't know how that happened. And then Barbara ended up being a rooster, a Polish rooster. And so now we named him Bob Ross. But yeah, he likes to go off freaking early in the morning, like you said, like 3 or so in the morning. It's like, what the hell, Bob Ross? And he just freaking attacked me today. Like I'm walking through the yard, checking the water and food, and all of a sudden I hear this feathery body against the back of my legs, and I turn around. I'm like, damn it, Bob Ross! I will kill you. I will take your head and twist you around. Hmm. um, and my goose is just looking at him like, really? I don't know what to do with them. I'm like, I need to figure out how much I can sell this rooster for. Yeah, her name is Gozzy Gosborn. She is amazing. She's so sweet. Yeah, I didn't plan on getting one, but I didn't want a rooster, but I needed something to protect my flock, and all the places around here that sell, produce did not have any geese, and I guess it's the lucky seven was not so lucky because every time they ordered geese, the post office would hold on to them and they'd perish. And so I was like, hey, if anybody comes in here that that has geese, can you please like let them know I'm looking for little gosling? And like 3 days later, a lady contacted me and went out and got her, and she's just been amazing. Like we've taken her to Walmart in a little tote, and she's just checking everybody out, and I don't know, she's super cool. I love her to death. She's my favorite. I'll have to send you some pictures. Oh, yeah, this lady has, I'm very impressed with the one that she gave me. She lives out in Arby's. It was kind of hard to find her. Um, and like, I thought she had several goslings to get rid of, and then she's like, "This is the one." I was like, "Man, I thought I'd be able to pick it," but she's been nothing but cool. Like, we all love her, and she's so funny. Like, I've upgraded in pools. Like, started with a really small one, then got a little bigger, and I'll refill it like every 2 or 3 days because she first thing she does is poo in it. Um, but she's been doing the zoomies, so she'll get in there and all of a sudden she'll just start running around the edge of it, and she'll get to going so fast that she flings out the side. But yeah, she's super funny, and I know, yeah, I know this ain't paranormal, but okay. Oh, mhm. You figured it out. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it was just like such a beautiful message and stuff. And I have a first, this is the first business, like I'm handling it with such care because I want it to be done properly. And I'm looking at other ones and what they're doing and what I like and what I dislike. And I'm getting a lot of feedback right now. I'm just working for this facility, but I'd like to make this like a separate thing. And so I'm just getting a lot of feedback from people and their experiences and what they think would help them. And everybody's in there for different things and different reasons. So not one particular program is going to suit, some of them don't really want to participate. There are a few, but the ones that want to participate, which is, I'll say like three quarters, um, they are passionate about it and they love the horses. They'll come down and feed them. And I really do think that that's a really good asset to their program. And I like to watch people like grow too. Like they'll go from not even doing anything but like brushing a horse or leading a horse. And then at the end of their treatment, like they're riding or trotting or, I had a couple of girls that were loping the horses around, and it's really cool. The people that like it really does, I think, help them in some way. Um, I don't know. It's cool. I kind of got thrown into this and I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is some weird God plan thing, but let's go. Like I'm in it. Let's go. So I'm not really pushing to start the business up when I'm not prepared. Like it's conveniently at home for me right now. Why would I, I'm jumping into it already. I don't want to just like, I can hire a therapist and call it equine based psychotherapy and just like hurry up and do it. But I'm
Right.
kind of already doing it and I'm trying to figure out what, I want to do it so it's a little bit like soft, if you will, with the therapeutic side, but it needs to have a little bit of like a real educational kind of Western side too. You need a little bit of that mixed in because some of the programs they don't ride. They just lead them around and they do their stuff. And I'm like, no, I want a program that people will actually get the riding and stuff. I don't want to just lead them around the whole time and do these
Yeah, like working your
exercises
way up.
of, I
Like you
call it
said,
like
like
woo
start
woo.
with the brushing and leading and feeding and all the other stuff and work your way up to the riding. And it's kind of like trust bonding or whatever, because the horse has to trust you, you have to trust the horse. I don't know, I think that would be a good thing. And I don't know, have you found that some people are just like not
Yeah.
into it because they've just been disappointed with so many other ways of therapy that they're just like, this ain't gonna freaking work. So they just kind of give up on it before they even try it. I don't know. I've heard so many good things about it, and I've personally known people who have done it that didn't think it would work for them, but it actually did wonders for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's this program or it's like a globally known method called the Igala method. And I think it's because there's like a ranch somewhere in the Midwest here that started it. Um, and a lot of other places, all the way to, New Zealand and the UK and stuff, go by this method. I can't really do it on that method on my own without hiring, working under a medical professional's license. So I will eventually need to find a therapist that supports this, and I can do kind of the equine side, and they can, follow the method and their own actual like group therapy practices that they do, because I'm not licensed for that. But I'm thinking about getting like a BA in psychology. I didn't really want to, like, I mean, in general, but it would just be good. I can do one pretty quick and have it for the business and the program stuff. But I still don't think that I can use just that alone. Someone has to have like a medical license to do the psychotherapy part. But I'm super
Hmm.
excited. I've had these dreams on the paranormal side. I've had these dreams about some of the guests, clients. I don't like to call them patients. Um, and it's just intense. Like, it's intense. Like, I feel, I don't know. It's interesting. It's a lot of energies. It's good energies, but there's just a lot there. So I feel like I have to kind of, cleanse my energy from just, there's a lot going on, in their lives and stuff. And they're like not, I don't know, the neighbors were really mad about the turning the house into the treatment facility. They were super mad about it, but honestly, that's like a mission I can totally support. And it's not, these people, they're paying a lot to be there too, like a lot. So, I mean, it's not like they're going to break into the houses or anything. Like, they kind of overreacted, even knowing the details, which kind of made me mad. But,
Yeah. They
but
don't
so
like
far
change.
it's interesting.
And it's not like they're not staying there, right? They just come there to see the horses and work with the horses. Like, what's the big deal? Mm.
Yeah, they're just concerned. I don't know. It is what it is. I think they're warming up to it, but I mean, I don't know. It just kind of makes me sad because I like the neighbors, but they threw such, they made it out to be like such a big deal, and like it's it's not gonna be. It's not like they're building a prison, Like they acted like it was just this terrible thing. And they're like they built a wall in their yard, and they just took it to the nines as far as
Yeah, it's not like you have a freaking
their
halfway house there or something. Like, give me a break.
approval.
Man, they can just get
That's what
over
I'm
it.
saying. It's not that it's a treatment facility. It's like it's awesome. They turned the garage into a gym, so they have like a cold plunge that I went into, and it was cold. It was not enjoyable, but I will say that like that day I had so much energy afterwards. So I may at some point do it again, but it
I've
was
heard of
cold.
people that do that every day, and I've never done it. I'm not that brave, but holy shnikes, I've heard good things. But yeah, I'm a wussy. I did jump into, I think it was a lake up in Rico, Colorado, and that was like a cold plunge. But I think I was like 14 or 15 when I did that. And it like takes your breath away, and you hope you don't drown, but I've never done like a cold bath or whatnot. Like, and I've known people or heard of people that have done that like every
Not
single day.
intentionally.
Well, yeah, we knew it was really cold. It was me and my friend Mary Vesta. Um, and we had to do it together because otherwise we weren't going to do it. But no, like not like a scheduled, planned everyday thing or weekly thing or whatever. I'm not sure how people do it, but I've heard of people doing it like every day as part of their lifestyle.
Yeah, and like some of them are very interested in like the paranormal stuff, and so as I get to know some of them, but I don't promote too much of that to just anyone, just because everyone has their own beliefs, and I don't want to interfere that with my work. But there are like two or three girls specifically that like were so into it, and one of them she was discharged yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, yeah. And so I gave her a ride home from the facility, and I gave her the name of the podcast, and I'm hoping that she will listen to that. So it's kind of cool.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny you said that some of these people do have, abilities. Do you think that could have led to some of their issues because, in the past, and personally, like if you have these abilities and you don't know how to deal with them, it
Absolutely,
can be an issue and it can cause issues.
absolutely. People who are sensitive, um, or like empathic, I think like one of the common threads is just like being around certain people can like get you to do things. Like I'll use like my father for an example. He was super empathic and he was a good person, but his brother, you know, who was older, kind of got him into things that, you know, like I don't think he would do on his own, but just people being in relationships with other people who are addicts and stuff, like that can happen too. And like, you know, if you're an empath, you know, you don't want to, you just, I don't know, that can probably, I'm assuming, make a difference, you know, just being around certain people, being empathic and feeling their energy, and then getting into things that you wouldn't be your normal things. I mean, it just would make sense. I saw some weird, what was it? Just a clip of someone saying that her boy, it was one of these like clips of like, I don't know if it was intervention or something. I've always watched those. I've always found it fascinating.
Me too.
But there
It's a
was
guilty
one where she was just
pleasure.
saying she started dating this guy, and then, you know, he was taking these pills, and then she started taking them because he was taking them or something like that. And it's like, I mean, that makes sense. Like, and then now she's on this interview for about addiction. It's just kind of it. I think, you know, I've heard people talk about it as a disease, and I'm like, well, kind of, yeah. Like imagine. Like I knew a girl in high school who her mom was on drugs, and then she was taking drugs at a young age because her mom did. I have another friend where, you know, she's an alcoholic because her mother was, and that type of stuff. Like it can be like generational and stuff. Um, that's separate though. Like I think the empathic thing could easily, like same with like the artistic temperament thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know my great great grandpa was like, or my great grandfather was like a famous artist, and he was a super alcoholic. I mean, how many of those were there? There was tons, right? Like out there, the
Well, I
most
think like
famous
what you're
artists of all
saying, that
time
stuff kind of goes
and
hand in
musicians of all
hand.
time.
I know being an artist, being a musician, being empathic, being these different things, it's a different state of mind, lifestyle. I don't know. I think it starts off with state of mind, and just like being I can't think of the word right now, but it's like a mental thing, and it's kind of hard because like you can hear voices or you can feel things or see things or whatnot, and it can be a lot. And maybe sometimes it takes, you know, self-medicating or doing different things to open up that portal for things to come out, and then it turns into something really really bad, like turns into a problem. I don't know. It would be cool to do a study on that.
Totally, just like method actors. I
Yeah.
know. Well, there probably is. We just don't get to know about it. You know, like method actors, you know, creating different personas where they're getting ready for a role, and then the role is like cursed type of thing. Like they become that person. They're like, okay, I'm going to lose all this weight and become this really tortured person for this role. And then, you know, a lot of actors have even said like, it was hard, like mentally hard, because like I became that character. And that's kind of like the power of the mind, but it's like you almost wonder if they didn't like call in that character. I don't know. It's weird. You got to look at it like the spiritual side and then the psychological side, and like it's there's so it's definitely in line though, like with actors and musicians and
Mm-hmm.
artists, just like feeling things so deeply. But you have to wonder too, like how much of it is like paranormal, like how what's going on that level. Like I'd like to be able to just see from like a spiritual level what is actually happening. Same with like people with certain like mental disorders. Like are they are they hallucinating, or are they just seeing things we can't see? Same with kids with autism or other types of special needs and things. Like are they just in a literal different realm right now, or are they is their mind creating this, or is it external?
Yeah,
as
definitely.
my power goes out. That
And
was
that's
really
what I was trying
crazy.
to think of was autism. So, I have a nephew through marriage that's autistic. His son is autistic. He's actually got two. One is very autistic. The other one is mildly. The one that's very autistic, I don't know. It's like you get to that cusp of being on, kind of the degenerative side and genius. Like you're right there on that freaking line. And, he wasn't very verbal. He'd say some words. I'm not talking about the nephew, but the nephew's son. And he was kind of the same age as my oldest daughter. And she has always been very empathic, very intuitive. I call her my little healer. But she would sit there and she'd try to connect with him and try to talk to him. And she was very intrigued by him. And she was very cuddly. Her name was Kinsey, but we called her Kissy Girl because she was very, very lovey. But yeah, she'd get a little too close, so he'd push her down and she'd try to, understand and learn, not to get so close. But I was watching them play one day and he took this deck of cards and he kept like flinging it out. And then he'd pick them up, but not by the ones that are closest to him. He'd do it in a certain order. And so I just kept watching closer and closer as the cards were going out. And, he was doing this and flinging them out. He was actually picking them up in the order that they left the deck. That to me was amazing. Like, how can you see it, like, flinging out that fast and pick them up in the exact order that they went out? So it kind of reminded me of Rain Man, like how he was so good with numbers and like a genius in Las Vegas and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I have to watch that again. It's weird. Like I've been thinking about Rayman for like the last couple of days, so that's a sign to watch it
That's funny.
for sure. Definitely.
But yeah, I felt really bummed that you were up here and I've been dying to see you for
It's
forever
weird.
and I
As I
get
was
to see
talking
you.
about that, my power
Huh?
went out.
What? Is there a storm?
No, as we were talking about like the parent, no, that's no, there's no storm. Like just I had to just sorry, I was listening to you, but I had to go trip the breaker and yeah, that was weird. It
That
happens, it
is
does get
creepy.
overloaded. It was just weird that it happened right during that conversation. It
Right?
hasn't happened in a while.
Speaking of which,
And there's no storm.
yeah, we've had some weird stuff going on here, like power outages and stuff, and we didn't have a storm at the time. There was one like last week where it was a storm that made it happen, but different things turning off and on, like whether it's the lights or the AC or whatnot, really weird stuff like that. For a while, me and the kids were seeing shadow things, and I try not to mention it to the kids because I don't want to freak them out and make them think too much. But once the littles are like, Mom, I keep seeing these little shadow things. And I'm like, are you serious? Because I've been seeing them too. And it was for about a week or two, and then they went away. But have you been having anything like that happening within like the last month or two?
I've had a lot of weird things happen in the last month. I can't even like describe. Oh, like
Mhm.
I learned the Hat Man. And there's another theory about the Hat Man that I just read today. I thought was interesting, and one was one of one of the theories is that like he comes to kids who have been traumatized,
Hmm.
and that he's actually like he's supposed to be like a witness or something like that. Like someone said he's the jury, the judge, and the executioner. Someone said that, and I'm like, I don't know. Like that's an interesting theory because a lot of people have seen the same apparition around, when they were kids, and um, or like other people have said that maybe he's like a protector or something, maybe on a like positive. I don't know,
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
but that
Like
would be an interesting theory.
when I was like, I went through so much trauma, whether it was like my mom being killed by a drunk driver, being abandoned by my dad, you know, molestation, grapes, different things like that. I never saw the Hat Man. I saw so many different paranormal things. I swear to God, I saw the devil. I never saw the Hat Man until my eldest daughter was, I think, 18 or 19. I think she was 18. And she called us. She was so afraid. And she's like, the Hat Man is here. And he's really freaking me out. Like, he won't leave me alone. He keeps chasing me around the house. Well, she was living in Ignacio in an old Catholic church. It used to be a Catholic church. Now it's a house being rented out. I do not like those sort of places. I think if a church closes, you should tear it down and rebuild something else. Because if a church stops being there and it was hollowed ground for so long, then evil things are going to go in there and do super evil things. But it was kind of funny how that came about. Her and her friends, I think they were all drinking and playing around one night, and for some reason they decided to go up into the attic, and they went up there and they found a box. It had a bunch of cassette tapes. It had a satanic Bible. It had like these black bubbly rocks in it and different things like that. Well, they took the cassette tapes and threw them out, which told me that I was like, holy crap, like, has the trash taken it yet? Because, like, I would take those and listen to them because who knows, like, what's on those. Kind of glad that she did throw them out because who knows what could have jumped off those tapes. But yeah, the friends of hers took the bubbly rocks and the satanic Bible. But after that is when she started seeing the Hat Man. And not only was he following her around the house, she also saw another one that seemed like really timid. And I don't know, but when I went and saw it, okay, so we went to check it out and see like what the heck is going on. And we're like, maybe it's a shadows coming from the street out front and, glaring into your house, and maybe it's nothing at all. I was also wondering at one point, like, is she high on coke or something? Because, like, her pupils were huge, but I think it's just because her adrenaline, and she was just so scared. And I know she wasn't on drugs. After, doing my interview and stuff and seeing what I saw, you would see him, and then all of a sudden he'd, like, go into the floor, or he'd go up into a corner, different things like that. And I did see the little guy. I called him the little minion dude because I think the Hat Man goes and takes tortured souls and makes them do his dirty work. So he'll have them be the ones that spend most of the time tormenting these people, and he'll come in to try to collect on them. But yeah, he was totally after my daughter. Right before she saw that, he said her and her boyfriend were up watching movies late one night, and she fell asleep in the chair, and she woke up and she saw him on the floor. And she said, I know it was him, but it didn't look like him. Like, it was his hair, but his hair was like really greasy and dirty. It looked like he hadn't bathed in a while. He didn't have any clothes on except for some white briefs. And they were like kind of holy and mangled and dirty looking. And he was hugging his knees and rocking back and forth. And she's like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? And he wouldn't answer. He just like kept rocking back and forth. And she jumped over him and ran to the bedroom. And then she saw her boyfriend was there in bed. I don't know. I kind of figured out that that was him in a future sense because he did start using cocaine quite a bit and drinking very heavily. I think that was a future him for her to see, but it was like directly after that the Hat Man was there and just tormenting her. It was really scary.
That is.
Oh, and
I almost wonder if that wasn't a different, because,
no, and
when I had
also
my experience when I was a kid, I never felt bad energy. It didn't feel like bad energy, but who knows? Who knows? Like, that could have been.
and another thing that
It's
I
just such a
remembered,
mystery that so many people.
yeah, all over the world have seen him. But right before she saw him in her house,
Mm-hmm.
I was in here doing my show. Floyd was out in my bedroom, and he freaked out because he said right in front of my door, he saw a man in a hat that was wearing like a long sort of trench coat jacket, and he was there, and then he disappeared into the floor, just like he did at Kenzie's house, in the floor, into the attic, like through the wall, whatever. And it really freaked him out. Like, he'll still talk about it today. And it was right after that that he showed up at Kenzie's house. So I think he came here looking for her. And it's funny, too, because not too long before that, she started seeing Mommy E. Mommy E is a ghost that she used to see up in Tween Lakes, which is between Vallecito and Lemon Lake, where we lived, our first place here in Durango. And she was tormented by Mommy E and Baby E. And she was like, Mom, I think Mommy E is after me again. We thought we lost her when we left the A-frame up there and moved to Bayfield, but then she found her again. So I don't know, like maybe going into that attic and finding those different things just opened this whole freaking portal of crazy crap for them. I don't know. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah. Definitely. I would buy an old church, though.
Would you? It's
I feel
funny
like
because
there's so many. Well, there's so many for sale that are like don't cost very much, and they're like all over. There's some that are really nice, and I definitely have to feel the vibes first, but
yeah,
there's
there's
so many nice ones.
really cheap for a reason, is my thoughts. Me and Vern were looking at a house. So driving from Durango to Bayfield, when you start to go into, I call it Tunnel Hill or whatever, it's right before you get to Narrow Gauge. So you go down, and then on the other side is Narrow
You're
Gauge
kind of
Trailer
cutting
Park.
out. I don't know if it's on my end.
Yeah, I think it's because Chris's group keeps trying to do a video call, and it keeps coming through here. I don't even have my Skype opened up, but so where you go from Durango and there's that turnoff that goes out to, like, you could go to your house there. It's by Rekla. There's like a crisscross.
I think so, yeah.
This really big hill, and then on the other side, yeah. So at the very top, before you go down, off to the right, there's a house there that is blue and it's got really like pretty ornate woodwork up in the corners of it and stuff. That used to be an old church. And Vern's nephew and his old lady used to live right next door to that, and it was up for sale, really, really cheap. And Vern's like, let's go in there and check it out. And I'm like, all right. So we went and checked it out. As soon as I walked through the doors, I was getting this stabbing pain in my head. And I'm like, man, like, what the heck is going on with that? And then as we walked through the house, it got worse and worse and worse. And I don't know, I didn't have any good feelings about it. Vern was excited about it. Kenzie was the same as me, like, she didn't like it. And then later on, I found out it was an old abandoned church. So I don't know. I think they're cheap for a reason. And it's very tempting because a lot of these can talk to you and be like, come on, you love this place. You should have it. It's such a good deal. And sometimes you can be fooled and go in there and be like, yeah, I need to have this place. Like, I must have it. And so many people have done that. And then, like, they spend their life savings and other things like that. And it just totally destroys their life to a certain extent. So where have you found something like that? Like down there in Arizona?
And just the structure.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Oh, I've just looked at like all over. There's websites and stuff, and there's some that are the structure though. Some of them I've seen them after they were like you can purchase them after they were already kind of converted. I mean, there's some, but I understand though, like sometimes like you go by certain older churches and there can be a vibe. Like you can tell the difference between just an old church and an old church that's been there a long time, but there's been some things, there's a lot of not necessarily friendly energy emanating from that building. It would definitely have to be selective. It's just, even with old schools, like, I mean, just property in general, like there's so many like old schools and churches that can be converted into homes or businesses. And I don't know, I find it kind of fascinating, but I would say there's a lot or you look at them or you go by them physically and you're like, no, okay, that's kind of scary.
There's this one show I saw, I can't remember if it was on Netflix or what, but it's where this family bought a funeral home and totally revamped it into a house. And it was gorgeous in the first place, but what they did to it was amazing. But it was funny because the youngest daughter kept picking up on things. One was a woman in a blue dress and different things like that. And come to find out there was a woman that lived there, and I think she fell down these stairs that she kept seeing her on. But I don't know, that to me is like interesting. I don't know, the whole Addams Family part of me and stuff like that would be like really into that. Like that would be so cool to own a funeral home or something like that, like a freaking derelict old house or something that you could just totally revamp and make yours. But there's still those original bones that carry so much in it.
That would be a
It's
hard
like,
no.
yeah, it's like
That would
win,
be a
lose, or
hard no
draw.
for me, a
Like,
funeral home. Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's where I draw the line.
Or a hospital, an old hospital or an old insane asylum. Like, I heard about or watched somebody else that had purchased an old asylum to make it into like a complex for people to move into. And I think they got maybe a fraction of the way through it. They still had a ton to do, and they just can't get any further because it's so haunted. They can't really do anything with it. It's just too dangerous, both spiritually and physically.
Yeah, if you don't believe in the paranormal, go put
You will.
yourself somewhere like that for a night and like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been to a couple places like that, like the Enterprise Bar and Grill, and then what was it? Oh man, I keep wanting to stay the straighter. It was the Grand Imperial, that place. Holy shnikes. I thought it was haunted, but like that night we spent there,
I
holy
had to
shnikes.
leave.
Yeah, I was up all
I
night
had
to
to
the
leave.
point.
I
Yeah,
couldn't have done it.
I wish I could have gone with you because everybody else went to sleep, and I'm like, how can you sleep? Like, I can't sleep. And then I heard whatever they call it, the yellow-eyed freaking miner or whoever the heck he is, like clunking around in his boots upstairs. And I woke up Jamie and I can't remember who else. And we went upstairs and looked around because they're like, oh, it's probably just the owner. I'm like wearing boots in the middle of the night. I could see like flip-flops or house slippers or something to go make a peanut butter and chili sandwich. I don't think he's going to be clunking around in work boots. And we went up there and there was nobody there. But yeah, I got so little sleep that at breakfast the next day, I was just like so delirious. I was like giggling and laughing about anything and everything. Yeah, I won't stay there again. But I will go back there and do some investigating.
Something followed me. Even if,
Really?
yes, but no overnights because something followed me from the room. I told you it was a female apparition.
Wow.
I'll just call it an apparition because that's professional, but it was a ghost. She followed me across the street. I stayed in this little tiny room above the ice cream shop. And I was just drained and I had to get out of there. I don't know why, but I was so drained. I tried, and when I got there, I just all night, I kept me up all night. Like I kept seeing like this lady, I don't know what time period she was from, but she was frantic ghost looking for who I thought was her husband. And I think she was like a mistress to this man because she couldn't find him in the afterlife, and she was like bothering me all night. Like
she was the mistress, not the wife. And that's, I don't know, I think she offed herself. And that's why she's still around. Like, not only the torment she went through by not being
100%. I saw it. She jumped off of something.
Oh my God.
Like she showed me, like she was either jumped or pushed off of something, and it looked like it was over water, which is weird. But like she showed me this whole story. I don't think she was from the US. I think she was from like Spain or like Mexico. But she was speaking a different language, and she showed me like her whole thing. She was looking for her man that wasn't her husband, but she I don't know. She thought maybe she could find him. I don't know. I don't think it was her husband. I'm not sure if she was pushed or she jumped, but I think she may have jumped. But it was rough because she was like, I know I can, you can hear me or like some, I could not sleep. I saw, like, I never see them. And I saw her like over the bed and then I would like fall half asleep and I would just get all these like flashes and she was like frantic. It was like, ugh, it was a lot. And like, it was so bad. Like I called my mom in the morning and I was like bordering tears and like, that was the most
Um,
intense experience. She like latched on and that's probably why I was drained as I felt her, but I went back to the room thinking it was just the hotel itself, but it wasn't. It was probably her energy and I was like, I can't help you find him. I don't know. It's tough. That's why doing that type of work is a lot, like all the time. I
yeah,
try
it's
not
crazy.
to
Like, we haven't really done
tune
a lot
into
since
lower
COVID.
energies, but
Yeah. Well, it's hard because you don't really like intend to tune into them. Like you said, they find you. They're like here at our house, we're not looking for them. We do not investigate here. But it's like a beacon of light. They come to you because they know you can hear them. They know you can see them. And so then you have to deal with it. I don't know. It's not like you ask for it, but it finds you.
yeah, that's why my whole body. Most of the time, part of the reason. It's just
Yeah.
it's
Well, even being a
that I
homebody, it
haven't had
finds
a
me.
lot of stuff happen because I've been guarded.
Yeah, the last one I did was when we did that one out at your property and we're, looking for paranormal and we found a mothership and then whatever that thing was in that tree, I think it was an elemental that jumped on your head. I have to send you some pictures of that. I don't know if I ever did, but at first I didn't say anything because I'm like, I'm just gonna wait and see, like, is she gonna pick up on this? And then you're like, my head is hurting, and I'm like, I don't know if you know this or not, but this is what I just saw. And that was through what do they call it? XOS cam or something like that. It's like a connect that's connected to the computer that picks up on images. And this thing was pretty big. Like it looked small because I think it was just like kind of curled up in the tree, like with its legs or knees up to its chest or whatever. So it looked small at first. And then once it jumped out, you could see how big it was. I don't know. It was pretty intense. I miss it, but at the same time, it's like I've been
We
so tired
I think I'm ready
recently.
though. I think we should go out.
Me too. Like I
Yeah.
really, really miss it, and it's just like I don't have anyone to go with. Me and Glow. I don't know if you got to meet her because she got pretty upset. When we did that thing at the Grand Imperial, she wanted to do something down the road really quick, and it's like, no, this is scheduled for the world's largest ghost hunt. Like this is where we're at tonight, and she ended up leaving that night and not doing anything. And I think it's also like she's not used to being around other people that are spiritually gifted and stuff like that. Like she's kind of like me, or maybe perhaps like I'm kind of an introvert or whatnot. I don't really like to go out unless I'm drinking. Then when I'm drinking, I'm like, yay, woohoo, this is fun. Otherwise, I'd rather stay home and away from all the freaking energies out there. But we just caught up recently. I'd really like, and I was thinking about this earlier too. I'd really like for the two of you guys to meet, and I'd really like for us to be able to go out and do something somewhere. Um, I don't know. Hopefully, I can find a place, or maybe
Yeah.
she knows
I
a
mean,
place.
I'll be in Colorado in within the month at some point. I will be there for at least a week, maybe two. Or I will go and I will come back or something like that. I'm still trying to figure out. I have to just
Hmm.
step by step see what's happening with my horse, step by step, you know, one foot in front of
Yeah.
the other. But I definitely need to get my horses out there. They need to get out of here because that's why they call it just stupid sand.
Does it get
Um,
into their
and
food, or
it's
how does that
hot. It's really
happen?
hot.
Is it like breathing it in or eating it in their food, or how do they get that?
They eat it. They'll just eat off the ground and little by little they'll collect rocks. I caught it pretty early on, I think, because but it can get bad. But they can colic with anything. Like They can stand colic. There's a million different types of colic that they can get. It's just kind of like an upset tummy that if it gets really bad, they um they can actually roll around and get their intestines out of place, and it's kind of brutal. But
Yeah.
but I've seen horses that are colicking way worse. I'm like she wasn't even to the point where it was bad yet. It was just I just know her and I know how she is and I know how perky she is.
Hmm.
And I just noticed right away that she was not perky, and I watched it kind of progress a little bit, and then she looked like she wanted to lay down. I'm like, okay, she's not feeling good. But I've seen other horses where
Yeah.
they're sweaty and they'll be on the ground rolling and they're just so uncomfortable. It's like bad, and that's when they get their intestines twisted up. That's what can, you know, kill them basically. So we just had to like flush her out, do all this different stuff. Um, I got to play what is it, vet assistant last 3 days. It's fascinating. I used to like want to be a vet and stuff, but I kind of got my wish, but not actually. At the
I
same
did
time,
that.
I don't know if I could do it all day, every day. That's just, it's hard.
I did that for a little bit as a job, and I had to quit because I get too connected to animals. I don't know, like I know what they're saying. I know what they're feeling, whatever. And I don't know, like I'm very emotional when it comes to connections between humans and animals. And okay, so taking the dew claw off the pups, that was sad, but didn't bring me to tears. But I was just like, man, you really got to do that. But I guess they do because the dew claw can rip off or something. That's just a back in the day thing where they used to climb trees or whatever. But there was this one where this guy had this dog, she'd live forever. She had, one eye missing, one leg missing. This dog had lived a full and crazy life. And he brought her in to put her down because, he's like, she's just had enough. Like, she needs to go. Kind of like my Gilly dog. Like, she lived to be 21 because she just wouldn't let me go. She's like, no, I got to be here for you. And I'm like, no, you can go. She waited till I went to Phoenix to leave. But yeah, this guy brought her in and to put her to sleep, and he's sitting there talking about all their memories and stuff together, and I couldn't help it. I started crying. I wasn't like outwardly sobbing, but like I couldn't keep the tears from rolling. And the vet got really pissed off at me, and shortly after that, something really bad happened to my friend and her daughter. So I ended up quitting my job. I'm like, this isn't for me. Especially if the doctor is going to react to me like that. Like, I don't see anything wrong with you feeling for your patient and its owner or whatever. Like, there's nothing wrong with crying tears for somebody and feeling emotional for them. Like, would you rather me be hardcore? Like, I have no fucking feelings at all. I don't know. That's kind of how I felt. But yeah, I ended up quitting. I'm like, this ain't for me.
Yeah, I've noticed I've hardened up so much, like when it comes to animals, like just living the ranch life. I've definitely hardened. I
Mhm.
think that would happen a lot even more, you know, um, in that field. But that just, I don't, I don't think that would be my, well, not at my age, but like I had thought about it for a while. There's just the reality of it is like that's just not, but I absolutely do it anyway, like
Right?
without actually doing it. But it's weird. Like I'm so connected to like certain animals. Like even like my mare, it's really weird. Like I woke up not this morning, I think it was yesterday morning or the morning before. It was the morning before. And I was just so incredibly drained and like I didn't feel good. Um, I'm getting like, like I could just tell that part of it was her energy and I'm like, she's not feeling good right now. And I didn't even look at her yet. And I just knew it.
Hmm.
It's like I have like such a, like with her, it's like
You guys are connected.
we kind of become one, like what she, yeah. And it's crazy. Like it's more than I've never experienced that before where it was that strong. But
Hmm.
like I don't know if it's because she's a married. It's really, really weird. I just I can feel I felt her like really strong. Like I it's and then like she can't pass and like I'm getting like sympathy constipation, so we gave her Metamucil, and
Aw.
I took a little Metamucil too. Like it's really cute and sad, but at the same time, I don't know, I've never experienced it that intense before, like so I think she's going to be fine. I really, really, really want to breed her. I really, really want her to have a colt. She has just really good papers, and she's normally extremely healthy. She's so sound, like she never gets injured. She's really, really smart. And like it took me a long time to find her. Like, and the
She's got
thing,
good
I'm
temperament
kind of
too,
in
huh?
between like this the animal lover city girl and like the ranch. I'm kind of in between, so I don't really fit in the city, and I don't really fit 100% in the cowboy world, because I can never compensate for the fact that I didn't grow up in the Western world. So I had to learn everything from scratch. Like my horse experience is 6 years, like that I've had horses of my own. So I like everything. And that's kind of a long time, but that doesn't compensate for a lifetime, or like things being
No.
indoctrinated in your head. So it's really good for the animal therapy, because I have like both perspectives, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even I get like woo woo with certain people and their horses. I know they get pampered, and I'm all about that, but like
Mm-hmm.
I'm also like, let a horse be a horse, right?
Yeah.
Let it run, let it graze, like you know I know they're not dogs, they're not lap dogs and stuff, even though
No.
sometimes I treat mine like that. I know that. So it's like about a balance, right? And I've just never had like an animal like with her. Like I was just like feeling her pain really intensely, like I think it was yesterday or the day before. But it's not physically, but like I was connected. And it's really weird. You do become connected as a rider, especially doing certain activities, like with her, with like cutting. Like she knows where I'm looking. If I'm looking at the cow, she can tell if I'm looking at the cow and if I'm not looking at the cow. And it's
Right.
like, it's weird. You almost become telepathic with your horse.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of it's body
It's kind of like
language.
the
It's
Beast
not,
Master.
supernatural, but they know.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
that
So like you become
connection.
one, especially with her. I
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot with her. Yeah. It's, it's crazy. It's probably the same, like, how like police dogs and
Oh
officers,
yeah.
like their canines,
And military
and even like
dogs, holy
military canines and
shnikes.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
you're literally a team.
Yeah. It makes me sad. Like, I don't understand it when it doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. The person that works with that dog doesn't take them when they retire. It's like, what? What? Like, why? Why would you not do that? Maybe there's a fear like they might snap or something with your family if you have kids or whatever. But I don't get that. Like, you work with this dog for how long and you're just going to let it go? I don't think I could do that. Working with a dog, like, that's my partner as an officer or, as a person in the military. I don't think I could let go of that part of me. So I don't get that. Like, I'd have to ask them, like, why? Why did you let that canine go? Because that's to me sad. Just like these greyhound dogs, they let them run, and then once they retire, they're just like, nah, we don't want them anymore. But they have that whole adoption association, which is awesome. I've always wanted one, never got one. I don't know if I could handle it. Like when I was younger, I really wanted to do that. I don't know if I could do that today, but I don't know. To me, it's just sad. But we are way past our first music break. If you're ready for a break, we can do that. If not, we can go to the halfway point and then go to a break. Totally up to you, what you'd like to do.
I am open to either. So
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and...
I'm open to either.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do the break. That way I can check on Floyd. It's me and Floyd tonight, so we'll go out and check on him, make sure he's okay. Right, so on this first music break, we have King Cinnamon from Biafra, Nigeria, with Fantastic and Ala Imo Ederella. Then we have Hosni Bronx, who is originally from Jamaica, but also hails from the Bronx in New York. And he's going to be singing Dance as a Lion. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Like no water bam bam. King Cinnamon. Oh shit, baddest. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Know your bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Shake a bam bam anywhere you day. Throw your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Put your brother, baby, gather something. Come on closer, baby, gather 19. I know you better, but I am the king. Your backside bigger than Bombay. Baby girl, brokotom. I like the way you want your brokotom. Baby girl, brokotom. I like the way you want your brokotom. Jamaica, Ghana, shout out to the ladies in Asia, Nigeria, South Africa. Say me love you. Please me, baby. Yeah. Turn up from you. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's go, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Give me love, give me love. Show me love, show me love. Oh, give me love, give me love. Me want you, me love you. Give me love, give me love. Oh, give me love, give me love. Hey, please me, baby. Oh. Yeah, turn up from you. Yeah, take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Take your bam bam anywhere you day. Play your bam bam, it is a Friday. Come on, let's ball, it is a holiday. Anything you want, baby, I will pay. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. Fantastic. Baby girl, you romantic. King Cinema. You know what I'm saying?
We spot on the mix. Lift it all.
Why, Babylon, you want our fire?
the music come from Jah. Dance, dance around this place, Rasta. Dance, dance, it's our chance to unite and chant the word. People in love, people in love, people in love, people in love. Yeah, humanity want to protect humanity. We have to save people from poverty. We don't want your frustration. We don't want your ambush, Babylon.
We spoke on speak.
Ka anyị kelee Chineke makwa n'ala Imo bụ ndị njem ọnụ. Ka anyị kelee onye nwe ụwa ịmakwa n'ala Imo bụ ndị njem ọnụ. Imo, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo steeti, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo steeti, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo, ala Imo ekerelo. Democracy emeriela, ndị Imo emeriela, ala Imo, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo steeti, ala Imo ekerelo, ala Imo, ala Imo ekerelo. Democracy emeriela, ndị Imo emeriela, emeka mara mma, ebere mara mma, ọfọnọ mara mma, first lady mara mma, emeka ịdị ọha mma, emeka ịdị ọha mma, omenka hụrụ anya n'ịdị ọha mma, omenka hụrụ anya nwa, emeka mee gị mmadụ mma, emeka mee gị mmadụ mma, emeka pụta n'ọgbọ, ụmụ ụwa wulie elu, emeka pụta n'ọgbọ, ụmụ ụwa emewe mkpọtụ, emeka mee gị mmadụ mma, emeka mee gị mmadụ mma, ndị m jeje mba, nwa njeje mba, ndị m jemanụ, deputy governor Imo State chiri ike, Gerard Ronna gara aga, nwoke ọma dị mma kpọrọ akpọ, deputy governor were dịrị gị mma, Aluguda dịrị gị mma, ala Imo steeti dịrị gị mma, ala Nigeria mara gị mma, onye jemanụ Sir Stanley Nwamuche gara aga, onye Babamba, President Good Life Foundation chiri ike, President General, Senate Group of Companies, President General, Financial Matter Karaka, Alo were dịrị gị mma, ala Mbise dịrị gị mma, ala Imo steeti dịrị gị mma, ala Nigeria mara gị mma, onye jemanụ Franklin Neji shiri ike, Mebe Arabido Hotels, ABC Transport Karaka, Alo were dịrị gị mma, ala Mbise dịrị gị mma, ala Imo steeti dịrị gị mma, ala Nigeria mara gị mma, Uche Nyagocha nne m, Uche Nyagocha nne m, ọnụ bụ nwoke ọma dị mma, onye hụrụ na keleli ya o, ma ọ wụ gị gị na ndị otu gị o, ma ọ wụ nule njiji gara iji n'ala Imo steeti yo, ma ọ wụ gị na ndị otu gị o, ma ọ wụ nule mmiri gara izo n'ala Imo steeti yo, ala Owerri dịrị gị mma, ala Owerri dịrị gị mma, ala Imo steeti dịrị gị mma, ala Nigeria mara gị mma, the chairman Orange Drugs Limited, Jisa Anthony Ifeanyi Chukwu Ndubisi na Ishirike, Ikenga ndị chele, pride of his people, most outstanding one, Okoma mara mma, ịkpọrọ akpọ, ala Owerri dịrị gị mma, ala Ijeatọ dịrị gị mma, ala Imo steeti dịrị gị mma, ala Nigeria mara gị mma, Honorable Chogwagu shiri ike, Honorable Obinna shiri ike, Jerry Labosa shiri ike, Tochukwu Okereke shiri ike, Oke Ahube shiri ike, Injinia Beninadi shiri ike, onye ọma Shima rock, woko madema ikaraka. Onye shiwore hebora ni. Ejemu imarama o. Woko mande jemba o. Woko madema ikaraka. Quiz popule. Ibo felamo. Onye mana bito akana kompa ikaraka. Eziwa mama. Mr. Ludwiriwa. Woko meje jemba. CEO Elizabeth Ventures Karaka. Democracy Merielo. Ndime Merielo. Democracy Merielo. Ndime Merielo. Alime Merielo. Alime Merielo. Thank God I'm from Imo State. Emeka has come to rejuvenate. Imo State, make you jubilate, make you celebrate. Emeka shikwen be say, this one no be say them say. Emeka has come to rejuvenate. Imo State, celebrate, make you jubilate. Ala mekele His Excellency, Achikudenwa. Mekele kwa His Excellency Dr. Hakim. Kemaka Right Honorable BDK. Mekele kwa Right Honorable Jones Oyereri. Ala mekele Senator Onyebuchi Mr. Empowerment. Lekele kwa Right Honorable Emeka Chinedu. Umo mimo lowali bia meziana alimo. Alima adilama.
Cliffito.
Babylon make you suffer. Babylon make you suffer. Babylon make you suffer. What you desire, young life. We are ready to fight. Hard life for my people. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know how to fight, 'cause my people suffer. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you want, Babylon? I don't understand why this world is so strange, strange with my people. I don't know how to fight, but if we are together, it will work. It will work. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Babylon no have no heart. 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 My people, you have to survive. Yeah, you must live with you and make your own way. You must not give up. The beginning of the revolt will start. We need to follow our true destiny. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us this evening on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. Tonight we have the Paradox Paranormal Forum, although it's just a two but it's been pretty awesome talking about the different things that we have. I'm super grateful to have Mia, and super excited to continue the show. Waiting for Jim to get here. I know he had to work tonight, so hopefully he'll get in anytime now because he was wanting to talk about dreams, which is a very interesting topic. Welcome back, Mia. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I don't know, where do we go from here?
Thank you. Where do we go from here? That's always the question, right? Where do we go
Exactly.
from here? You never know.
Well, I believe Jim was talking about, I think, lucid dreams. I'll have to look again just to make sure. My dreams have been very crazy and chopped up, like a lot of different crazy random things happening. And I don't know, it's always chaotic. So when I dream, I feel like I'm not resting.
Mine too, except for last night.
Yeah,
Same. Like I said, I had a dream about like all of these different people that I've met through the facility and like their lives, but I can't remember, any specific. It was just like clips of like flashes of like their, just it was so random. It was just like I'd have a flash of this person, then a flash of this person, and they were all like in different places. It was overwhelming and I didn't feel like sleep.
exactly. It's like, I don't know. You're not really sleeping, but you're partially resting. So you're not completely worn out in the morning.
Feels like
But,
you're working.
yeah, you could have slept longer. But yeah, it feels like you're working during the day and you're working at night. So for me,
I know the feeling.
I think one of the weirder ones was I was in Rome, I believe, and there was like cobblestone roads and looked like white buildings, white-sided. I'm not sure. I've never been there. I haven't really looked at a lot of pictures except for the Colosseum and stuff, but I was there interacting with people that I don't know, and I've heard, like, as far as dreams go, you can dream of people you don't think you know, but perhaps you saw this face before. And I don't think so. I think it's kind of like astraling, but not. I feel like the dream realm is a whole completely different realm, and it's different people on the same page that are trying to work together to accomplish something. And we were looking for someone. I can't remember who it was. It was a he, but I don't remember who exactly it was. And then several other ones like that. It feels frantic, like it's very important that we find this person, or it's very important that we do this. It's just very stressful. When it should be cool. I'd rather be talking to the caterpillars, smoking weed, or whatever it's smoking.
Yeah. I'm not. It's just been weird. I remember last night I just dreamt of boats, a bunch of little
Yeah.
tiny boats. And I was looking for a boat and I was trying to decide which boat that I wanted, but they were all really, really small. And I'm like, do I want that boat or that boat? And so it was kind of a nice, from the last few days of very little sleep and dreams that didn't feel like sleep. So it was kind of nice. Definitely.
And I keep telling myself, like, I will remember this dream so I can talk about it. But I don't know, for some reason, the newest ones have been escaping me, even though, like I said, they're very important. They're very frantic. They're the certain point of stress for me. But they wash away, probably because I wake up and there's so much I have to take care of. But I was trying to remember because a lot of them are, I don't know, I feel like they're visions, but not. I don't know. That's really strange to me.
Yeah, definitely. I've had some crazy ones where I meet people in my dreams and then I meet them in real life. And they call that déjà reveille.
Deja reveille.
Déjà reveille. And that used to happen to me a lot. A lot, a lot.
What is that?
Yeah, déjà reveille. It's like where you dream of, it's like deja vu, but it's you actually had a dream about something and it actually happens in real life.
Okay.
Like exactly how it was in the dream.
Well, that's
I
generally
think
what
that
my
happens to
deja
us
vu
a lot, but
is.
we just don't realize it.
That is
Yeah.
weird. Because generally that's what my deja vu
But deja
is. I
vu
didn't know
just
that.
feels like you've been there. But deja reveille is when you actually remember the dream, like when you've had the actual dream. I used to write them down and then they would happen sometimes. And it would be like usually like meeting people that I haven't met before. And I would meet them in a dream first. And then I would meet them in real life. That would happen like a lot. Even like going to offices that I worked at, that I would get hired at, I would dream about them. And the people that worked there and my future coworkers before actually meeting them. That has happened before too. It's crazy. But
Yes. I'm trying to
maybe
say,
that's what deja vu is, but we don't necessarily remember the dreams.
right? No, you don't.
Consciously.
Hello, beautiful sister Sandra. Sandra Heath is in the house. No, but it's like I said, some of them stick with you for some apparent reason, and other ones just kind of flitter away. I can remember ones from months ago because it was like end of the world in this like a sort of concentration camp, but different. I don't know. It kind of goes week by week or month to month or whatever. It just depends on how serious it is. I don't know if it's to your mind or what. Do you have that? Do you remember every dream or is it only particular ones?
I used to remember quite a bit of dreams, but my sleep schedule has been very weird, so I'm only remembering certain ones. Sometimes I'll go through periods where I don't remember any dreams, and sometimes
Right.
I will remember all of my dreams. It just depends. But typically I remember them if I have a normal sleep schedule.
Yeah, that's very abnormal for me. And I feel like when I get woken up by somebody, it'll take it to the point where I can't retain those dreams or I can't think about them. Because if you wake up from a dream and you can sit there and reflect on it, you can retain it. But if somebody wakes you up out of the middle of it, then it's hard to retain it. I don't know. And my sleep has been like so broken lately. I don't know why, but it's like every 2 hours or 2.5 hours, I'll wake up. And then it takes me quite a while to get back to sleep. And then same thing, 2.5 hours later, wake up.
Yeah, I can feel you on that. Definitely. Mine haven't been making very much sense, except for last night. I felt more like a typical dream of mine, just a bunch of little boats and like I dream about water a lot. I always have. Like I always dream about water, oceans and lakes and rivers and being underwater, being on a boat, like helicopters landing on water, just things like that. Like I always dream about water in some regard. And some of them are like super unrealistic and some of them are just like super like, did that actually happen? It's wild.
That's been a hard part for me too, and I hate to say it because when I say it, even in my head, it makes me feel like I'm crazy. But sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between dreams and reality. Like, did that really happen? Or, I don't know. I have that going on too. I think I might be losing my mind because I've had tinnitus for It was 3 years forever. I'm pretty sure I'm at 5 now, but I don't know. It's very complicated, very hard, and even listening to my kids, I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not that I'm not listening to you. I just can't hear you over this ringing. Can you tell me again? So I'm wondering, like, is my mind going to a certain stasis? Is this just a hearing issue? Is this something else? Because even doing the military, being around Vern's band forever, etc., I never had tinnitus. I had a slight ear infection. I flew to Arkansas. When we landed, they didn't depressurize the plane correctly. And after that, I've had tinnitus. Also, during that visit, because I didn't have it immediately, was the most spirits I saw at one time within one period of time. So I'm wondering, are they just still with me or something? Is that why I have that or what? And I did a hearing screening, and she said my hearing's fine, and she doesn't know why I have that. And it's weird. It goes really, really high. And then when it really scares me is when it goes really, really low, because that's abnormal for me. Have you had anything like that? Like, it used to only happen to me when spirits were around. Now it's basically all the time.
I mean, yeah, I'll get my ear ringing and stuff. Like I just found out I had a couple, almost the entire remainder of my dad's side of the family. I just found out had passed away, and I've been having like a lot of energy. So my grandma was married 3 times. My biological grandfather, on my dad's side, my biological grandfather, he passed away when I was like 13, but she married yet another pilot, which was my grandpa Ed. So, when I would go to visit her as a kid, he was my grandpa, even though he was not my biological grandfather. And I found out that my aunt, my dad's sister, had passed away. And so that's kind of like, and her son, which is like a lot of, like, I have like literally a whole team of deceased, an entire side of my family, and it's wild because they all passed away in different ways. It's not like it was it just makes me question, like, why, what happened? Is there some sort of family like curse or something? Like, I've always wondered, like, I don't have kids, and I've always like just been leery of that thought, just because of like, was
Sister, you saying that right now just gave me goosebumps, because I feel like that's what a lot of my stuff is a family
and
curse.
I'll have
It's
like
not something that I
different
did.
things.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not.
know, but
I don't know if you heard me, because I
I'm
think we
breaking
broke
that,
up.
like, not.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like, we try to talk about something, then it starts to break up. Okay, so please restart yours, and I'll let you know, like, what I was thinking. Because you were talking about family curse, and then I think you broke up after that.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, there goes the bunny. Um, yeah, I'm walking out in the desert because I have just a lot of. I have a girl staying with me.
You just broke up again. Girls say with what?
Yeah, so basically that whole side of the family on my dad's side is gone now. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
remainders are gone. And it just makes me wonder. And everyone passed away in different ways. It wasn't like some crazy thing where they were all on drugs. Like, I found out my aunt got into a car accident. My grandfather, it was old age for the most part. But like my uncle, he just disappeared when I was like really young. I never even met him. Like my father, he had a brain aneurysm. It's just really weird how that whole side is just wiped out. So I feel like I have like an entire army of family that's like around me, and I can feel them and see, like, know who's around during certain times.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandfather, he passed away, I guess, last week, and my cousin, who I
Yeah.
like, one
I'm sorry.
that I don't know, he's like one of the 2 or 3 left. No, it's okay. It's just crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can like pick up on different energies and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's like I he was definitely a new energy. I will just say that. Like, I can just sense certain things, but I sound like a crazy person, so I don't really like to talk about
Well,
it
I
anymore
feel
because it's like,
like
I don't know.
he
It
knew
just
you
gets me in trouble.
existed. I feel like he knew you existed. You guys really didn't get that chance to have a relationship, and I feel like he really wanted that with you. I don't know if it's because he didn't have any other granddaughters or because maybe you were the first of the grandchildren or something. He always wanted that with you, but for some apparent reason, probably because your dad passed, he didn't have that opening. And maybe he's like us, like he had that sort of social anxiety or whatever where he didn't reach out like he should have. I have a lot of regrets because of my social anxiety. But I feel like he really, really wanted to connect with you. He really
Yeah.
had strong feelings for you, but he wasn't able to attain that. I'm trying not to cry.
Don't cry.
No,
You're
I'm not.
fine.
But I just feel
It's
like,
I feel like right now my family is pissed and I'm trying to figure out why they're mad. I don't know what they're mad about, but I'm like, there's a lot of like, just,
well, like you said,
I don't
family
know. It's just
curse.
really weird. I just sense like,
And I heard like it's not just
I didn't
spiritual,
believe
it's
in any of
genetic.
that stuff. Like, this is all like, it was all foreign to me, like the whole thought that family curses were an actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never heard of that before. And when I did, it was like someone saying that jokingly in a conversation. But now I'm starting to wonder if that type of stuff is true. Like, what happened? But I'm going to find out. I want to find out. Like, there has to be a way. I know that's where like I have like some native on that side of the family, not from the one that passed, but my grandma. And I'm just wondering if there's not some crazy native curse like that was like, I don't know. Like, it's so
Have you done
interesting.
a genealogy test yet? Okay, so before I was against that because I'm just like, that's putting your DNA out there. They're going to copy you. They're going to do all kinds of stuff. And that sounds crazy too, saying that, but they're doing that with people. They're cloning them. They're doing different stuff like that. I swear to God, they are. But no, like the only reason I first did it was because of cancer. My grandmother from my dad's side died from breast cancer. My mother was killed by a drunk driver, but they found like 2 to 3 different cancers in her. So I'm like, please do a freaking cancer screening on me. And they did through 23andMe, and everything was clear. There was one red flag, but they don't know what it is. When they find out, they'll let me know. I'm like, are you freaking serious? Okay. And I still haven't heard. So I'm wondering, is this some sort of alien or something weird sort of thing? But no, this family curse, it could be genetic, it could be spiritual. I think it's genetic for the most part. I think that's what mine is. Because okay, so me and my family were together, then we were all separated. Then we got back together years later, and we're all telling ghost stories and stuff, because that used to be our favorite pastime. And I was telling the story of when I met the devil and saw the kobolds and all this other stuff, and my dad turned white as a sheet, and he's like, Sissy, your mom saw the very same thing in the very same room you were staying in. But her interaction with Satan or the devil or whatever you may call him, he was right next to her bed and not just in the doorway. Like, I didn't have to interact with him. I said, God stands before me, Satan fall behind, and just like that, I was out. My mom, she was kidnapped. She had all kinds of shit happen because she never met a stranger. So when she saw this most gorgeous man in her doorway, she's like, come on in, let's have a conversation. And yeah, they had a lengthy conversation. And when she got into her car accident, I swear to God, my sister was with her and her friend. And my sister said she saw him. He was in a tuxedo by a black limousine at this little corner store in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. This place is closed down. They still have like dusty ass bottles and shit in there, like a freaking relic. Ain't never been a freaking limousine in this neighborhood. Like, that to me is crazy. So not only I and my mother, but my sister as well saw him. And then my sister had another interaction with him, but he was like, that to me is insane. I think he was looking for brides.
Yeah.
And I've told my children this story because I have 3 daughters, 1 son, and I know he comes for women. And I'm like, if you see him, just say, just like my dad taught me, God stands before me, Satan fall behind. Just like that, I was knocked out. So hopefully that works for them too. Maybe I just got lucky. I don't know, but I'm grateful, super grateful.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many different prayers. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I'm super sensitive to just the energies in general. And sometimes I'll feel like I don't put enough protection. But I'm like, if I'm being real, like, sometimes it doesn't work in certain situations. So it's like, or you don't know what kind of protection. So what I was taught is like, okay, so you can use sage, but sage doesn't protect against everything. You can use this, you can use that. It doesn't protect against everything. It's like, what do I do? Like, just use everything? Like, I don't know.
Yes.
There's so much.
Make a potpourri.
I'm super tired, if you couldn't tell. Like, I'm like exhausted. So
that's okay. But no,
I'm not making
make
sense
a potpourri.
right now, so.
And
It's been a rough
I understand
day.
what you're saying because I've used sage, I've used Palo Santo, then I heard there's all kinds of different sage. Then you can also use sweetgrass, like frankincense, myrrh, blessed cedar. What the crack are we supposed to use? So back in the day when we first
Holy
got
water,
together.
Florida water.
Yes. Florida water. Oh, wasn't it Florida sand?
Yeah.
It's like black sand or something. There's so many different things. Florida. Now you're trying to tick my nerves. Just kidding. No, to me it's funny because I believe it's what you have faith in.
Isn't the river there called Florida?
No, it's called the Animus.
I think that's
the River
the key.
of Lost Souls. There is a road that goes to Lemon Lake
too, right?
It's Florida Road that goes across the Animus. But I don't know. I have to look at a map to see if there's a Florida River. I know the main river that goes through town is the Animus, which is the River of Lost Souls, which has always made me wonder. We could probably just go do one by the river and pick up on all kinds of shit. We were actually by the river the first time we met. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
That was
intense.
Was
an interesting night.
It was. I was like, holy shnikes. That guy was like trying to hide behind the tree and not show us who he was. We're like, we see you. And finally he's like, all right.
We need to go ghost hunting.
We do.
I feel like I'm being poisoned here in Arizona, honestly. There's like a map of like the most toxic states as far as like toxic things like waste, air, things like that. And Arizona's pretty high on the list as far as the amount of chemicals that are in our atmosphere. I feel like I need to get out here. I'm coming to Colorado as soon as I can.
So I'm wondering, like, okay, so they did all those nuclear tests. I know the White Sands is part of it. Did it go more down south? Like, what is the area that they exactly did that? Because I think we've all felt a little bit of that from that. It's in Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado. Utah got away pretty easy with that, but isn't that where they did the nuclear tests in the first place? Was White Sands?
I don't know if it's like a nuclear thing. It's more like companies that like emit and put like the most amount of like toxic chemicals within per state. So there's a bunch of companies that do it, whether it's in the air,
pretty
in the
sure.
water, however they do it, just waste in general.
Yeah, from what I
Yeah,
think.
Colorado. I think Utah, I think, is more toxic than Colorado, according to
Well,
the map
religiously,
that
but
I'll send it to you.
But as far as like, okay, the white sands,
Well,
then
this is
there's the
from
petrified
2016,
forest
so
and shit
mine.
like that. So, like, from the beginning of like where the blast happened, white sands, there's glass things, etc., etc. Then you get to the petrified forest, and they're trying to say, oh, well, that happened a long time ago due to volcanoes and such. Was it because of volcanoes, or was it because of nuclear blasts? It's hard for me to trust the government and what the crap they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when I say stuff like that, I'm like, are you being paranoid? Then I have to go through routes of figuring that out. But yeah, there's the White Sands, the original part of the blast.
Hold on
then
1
there's
second.
Petrified Forest. I heard a manare there. Is there a manare there? So, what are your guys' thoughts? Please leave your thoughts in the message board or comments. Do you think the White Sands and the Petrified Forest? And
I think we're
isn't
having
there...
some technical difficulty.
What happened?
Hey, I don't know. You kind of cut out, and then
Oh, you said hold on a minute.
encountered friends while going for a walk. So
You encountered friends?
I have friends.
No, you said.
Yes.
I thought you said you encountered friends while going for a walk. I was like, wait a minute. You encountered friends? Please tell us more.
And it just cut out again. I'm having technical problems.
Oh no. Let me check my internet. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I might have to reset my internet because I'm on. Oh, I bought this thing for like $60 from Wally World. Let me go ahead and switch over really quick. But we've been on this one is 5G EXT. Is it good or no? No bueno?
Tess, we can't.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Sound.
No sound? Well, it shows you're muted, but you're not. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. I'm going to uno momento, por favor, over here. Huh? You're muted again. Sorry, sister. What? I heard you say something. I heard you say something, then you doggy barked.
Technical difficulties.
Testicle difficulties. Please give us uno momento, por favor. Okay. Let me reset the internet really quick. It's going to take a minute or 3. I'm going to have to go out and look. Is Floyd playing World of Tanks? Pretty sure he's playing World of Tanks, which may be a World of Spanks. But I'm going to the original router. How that works. Hopefully that works. It might take a minute. Uno momento, por favor. I hate to do this, but I have to do this. Okay, are we back? 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 Hello? Uno momento, por favor. All right. Oh.
I can hear you.
Back? Yay! I just had to go to the original router.
Yay.
Bravo, bellissimo.
Awesome.
Like, okay, where did we leave off?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I took a walk. I thought it's the only time of day, this and like super early morning, that
Mm-hmm.
it is safe to be outside and not fry. So
Exactly.
a brief stroll
Arizona.
and
I'm so grateful I don't live there. But
encountered some guests and said hello, and then I didn't hear you.
oh, maybe it was the energy of the guests that came in. Who knows? Anywho's,
Oh, very possible. Very
bypassing what we
possible.
were talking about before, what else is on your mind paranormally that you might want to talk about? Not putting you on the spot. If you can't think of nothing, I will, but I just don't want to be selfish.
I'm just ready to go back to my home planet, wherever that may be.
I know, remember when we saw that
Honestly.
mothership and we're like, take us with you!
Yes.
I
I'm
was
ready.
not afraid at all. I was
I'm
just
super
like,
tired.
Go.
I wish that was not the case, but I'm super tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wish Jim would jump in
It's okay.
to kind of pump us up with his energy, because I know like we're kind of on the same plateau with ours, and like I said, I really wanted to see you and meet up with you when you were here, but Vern took the oldest girls to Queef Jerky, and then it was me and the littles, and I'm like, do I really want to take my littles?
What is Queef Jerky?
It's a band.
What?
Oh my god, I have to show you pictures of the girls too. They were all like dressed up, and it was kind of like goth makeup, but at the same time it was kind of like space girl makeup. I don't know, but there was Queef Jerky dollar bills or bills, and they had them, and then Kinsey had them tucked in her pantaloons, and she's like, take the bills and run. But they were both like really cute looking, and I don't know, I always get jealous when they go to concerts without me, because I'm like, I love music. I'll take you to your very first real concert. And we've gone to one together. We got to go see a certain person together, but I don't know, maybe it's Chaparral Roan we might get to see. Have you heard of her? My daughter showed me her, and then like a week or two later, she came out on the radio. And I'm like, oh my god, did you hear she's on the radio now? And it's like 3 to 6 songs throughout the night. You'll hear of her, the same song, because they're pushing it, but she made it to the radio, so I'm so excited for Nova, because she's like, oh my god, I love this chick so much.
I actually downloaded one of her songs like a year ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if it was under her name or if it was under a band that she was in. But I absolutely thought it was the funniest song ever. And it's basically about being a lesbian. It's the funniest song ever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not 100% sure if it was under her name or under, oh yeah. So no, it is. I think it's, she says her name differently though. I think she says it Chapel Rowan or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Chappelle Roan, I'm not sure. But the song Red Wine Supernova, like I downloaded that like a year ago, and I think it's just the cutest song. Just the lyrics are genius, and then I hadn't heard anything because I just randomly came across it on social media, and then recently like she's been all over, and I'm like, oh, she so deserves it because that song was so cute. I'm like, why isn't this bigger? Why has nobody heard this song?
Oh my god, she's about to beat a supernova. Seriously, like Nova, my daughter, is the one that's like, Mom,
totally,
you gotta hear this chick, like she's my fave. And the first song she sent me, I was like, okay, that's cool. Then she sent me the I think it's called the Small Desk Concert or something by oh my god, I want to say SNL. It's not. It's a radio network. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it right now. It's not SNL. It's less PR. SPR Small Desk Concert. And she sent that to me, and it was like 45 minutes or whatever. I love the whole thing. It's like they're right behind this desk, and it's her and her band. Her whole band is female, and just the connection and shit, like, I don't know. I was blown away. I love her musical talent. I love the female energy. I hate to say it for all you picker people, but I love it. Like, it's different because people are afraid to do something like that. And she has a certain route or stigma, must I say? I'm not sure, but I love her
Okay, this
spirit.
is she has an energy that the lyrics that I downloaded the song for, it's the funniest like lyric ever. It says, I heard you like magic. I got a wand and a rabbit. So baby, let's get kinky, let's get freaky, let's make this bed get squeaky. It's just the cutest. The way she says it is so cute. Like, I mean, it doesn't, you have to hear the way she sings it. I downloaded that song last year just thinking her lyrics were cute and her voice was
I think that's the
really
one
good,
that kicked
and then
off.
randomly she appears.
Yeah, I think that's the one that
I have
kicked
a
off. It's
talent
like,
for finding really underrated artists and then they blow up.
well,
Like,
you're a
it's
musician,
awesome.
so I was a musician. I played the French horn. I was in choir, but I'm not like you. I have not created music. I've created children. Some of them are quite
I
demonic.
just
Just
started
kidding.
making music again. And I made a
Thank
song that
God.
sounds like it should be like I have no idea what genre it is, but I just randomly when I haven't made music in a while, I have no control over like which direction or what's going to come out of me, if you will, because
Right?
it's just like
Just
whatever.
do it.
And so like I made this song that totally sounds like it should be like a James Bond villain song or
Ooh.
something. Like it's so random. It's like not I would want to say not my like typical style. There isn't one, so I don't think I have a typical, but yeah, it's really weird. I really needed to make music. That's been part of my uh
I've been missing that too, and that made me worry.
my
But I'm so proud of you
soul.
and so grateful you've been doing that.
I needed to. I just didn't have a place to do it, and I
I
moved
know.
twice within like 3 or 4 months, and
Mm-hmm.
started like a new job, and like there's just like so much that gets in the way. It sucks, but I think I can finally, hopefully, sit down and do some music because I need it for my mental health, honestly,
Seriously.
and
When
my
I was in
soul.
the
I say my
military,
soul. I
they're
don't want to
like,
use the word
if
mental health.
well, seriously, it is mental, it's spiritual, it's all encompassing. And when I was in the military, um, I don't know, they're like, if you took one thing to a desert island, what would you take? There's TV, there's family, there's this and this and that and that. To me, it was music. If I took anything to a desert island, it was just me. It would be music. And I really proved it to
Totally. A
myself. Like,
guitar.
they're taking me to a medical facility. I'm on a bus. I like to ride in the back because I like when they go over speed bumps and shit. I fly extra high. So I like to ride back there. And all of a sudden, I can hear music. So I'm just like leaning forward. Are you really playing music right now? And he was, but he turned it down like really, really quiet so people would shh and listen. And I did. And that really proved to me that's what I would take as music. That was the best part for me during boot camp that I had. Like, that really inspired me and reinvigorated me just to be able to hear music. Because, yes, you have left, right, Leo, and all these different things, but you don't have real music. So, yeah, that was so awesome. Music, I would take. I could find
There's
my
a
food.
difference.
Yeah, I could find my water. I ain't gonna listen to cadence. I'd rather listen to music. Because music to me is a heavenly language. To me, it's healing. To me, it's so many different things. And then cadence, that's just like my duck. She'll do that. Wait, right, right. Not my duck, my goose. She's like, beak, 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 beak. I'm like, let's go, let's go. But she's just like following me, and
Do you
sometimes she'll
think that
run with it.
like spirits can travel through music? Like,
I
when you're in
do.
church, the Holy Spirit, do you think that like can travel
Well,
through like people as channels, like whether it be holy or unholy?
I think through church, and I also think there's been so many times that I've gotten into my car and I haven't even turned it on yet when I hear this song. Was it because of the two feelings that I have in my face right over here on the left side? Or is it because I'm picking up on it on my brainwaves, but I turn the car on and there's the same freaking song? Like, how does that make sense? How is my head listening to the song that's about to come on? I don't understand that, but I don't know. To me, music is medicine, and recently I've listened to like when it's metal or oh my gosh, what's the pogo people called? I can't remember. So many different things I love and enjoy. They're my favorite bands, and people are like, "Oh no, that's just terrible. That causes chaos." No, like there's different music for different feelings and activity. I'll put on the Eagles, maybe Fleetwood Mac, or Limp Bizkit, or Eminem, or then it goes up to these other ones that I can't think of right now, and I'm so sorry that I don't remember you. I remember you. I just can't remember your name because I have all the timers. But music to me is amazing. Some of it is crap, like Christina Aguilera, every time she comes on, I get so pissed off. I'm like, get the fuck off my radio. Like, I cannot listen to that. Genie in the Bottle back in the day, okay, but
Well,
no.
she has such a beautifully trained voice, but
She
I I
does.
I I don't get the vibe from her that it's like
No.
she's not there's not a lot of emotion behind it. It's just like
No.
over trained, and that can happen. Um to where it kind of loses all emotion and authenticity. And that happens a lot with like those pop artists. They'll end up, if they're not really feeling a song, that a lot of times they didn't write the song. Like, everyone thinks
They
like
just sold
Miley
out.
Cyrus that she wrote like Wrecking Ball about
Mm-hmm.
her ex-husband or whatever. She didn't even write that song. She's like an actress, like everything, the music video, maybe she felt that song, but she didn't write it.
Right.
So, and everybody thinks that, oh, that was about this and that was about that. Like, no, she may have related to it. She may have felt singing it, or she may just be a really good actress and
Mm-hmm.
she sang someone else's song that someone else wrote.
That was a really
And that
good
happens a lot.
song, I must
And
say. Like, I felt that one. Memes. Yeah, but sitting there flying on the ball and
that
shit,
wasn't the
like,
original lyrics.
I love that
The original
song, but
chorus was, what is it? It
I'm
was
intrigued to
"You
hear
Came
the
In Like a
original
Wrecking Ball,"
ones.
which makes a lot more sense to me.
The what did?
The original lyrics from whoever wrote that song, it
Mm-hmm.
was "You Came In Like a Wrecking Ball,"
Oh,
and
wow. That makes more
that
sense.
makes more sense to me. Yeah,
Well, I'm
I
at
don't
the
know
point
why
where
they
I'm
said
the
they
wrecking
changed it
ball.
because it seemed a little too sad, but it
Yeah,
was still
like for
sad.
me, yeah, I'm
So
the wrecking ball. I'm the one fucking everything up, even though I don't want to. I want peace and comfort and everything to be perfect, but it's like self sabotage, and this has happened for so many years. And I came to clarity so many times like, oh my gosh, I just realized I'm sabotaging my own happiness. But then it continues to happen. But yes, you can see you came in like a wrecking ball. That's interesting. So, do you know who originally wrote that?
I can't, I don't know, but I heard, I'm not sure. It's probably just a songwriter that doesn't have like a musical platform. I'm not really sure, but I do know that it was about like it was supposed to be about like an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like some sort of a narcissistic dynamic, I'm assuming. Because if you come in like a wrecking ball, that's kind of like coming on really strong and like love bombing, and that, I mean, that's how I took it. And she said it was an abusive relationship, so that's,
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it might have been a physically abusive from whatever the article is that I read, but it's just a whole different perspective.
So, what exactly is love bombing?
Oh, that's just something that um it's basically like you can use there's different forms. It's just like too much um okay, so there's like when you're courting someone,
Mm-hmm.
we'll say the olden days, you're courting a woman, you bring her flowers, you bring her, I don't know, a horse or something. There's like that's like normal. Well, back in the day, not now. Like it'd be really weird if
Mm-hmm.
someone was like brought you a horse
Oh, yeah.
nowadays, but you know what I'm trying to say. Or we'll say a goat or something. But
Back there in the day when my grandma was
love
12 and
bombing
my
is
grandpa
where
was 15. I'm just kidding.
someone just does too much with the courting to like where it's like overwhelming, just going over the top, whether it be with like words of affirmation or gift giving or whatever it is that they want to, they
Mm-hmm.
just come in really, really strong for like a few months and they'll be persistent. And it's abuse. What it does is it gets your like, your love chemicals going in order for you to get attached to this person who's actually abusive. It's an it's an old, tried and true technique that works if you don't know what it is.
I know, because everybody's looking
Where
for
they
that.
just, well, exactly. That's the thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes it's hard to determine what is and what isn't. That's where if they're not going so over the top, but it's basically like a drug. It becomes like a drug to the
Mm-hmm.
unwitting victim of someone like that, where they get you attached more quickly than you should be, and then eventually you find out once that stage is over, then they'll start with like the borderline abuse, but then they'll go back to love bombing. It's abuse. It can actually like mess up your brain. And they but that's like the stage where they get you to get attached, and then eventually their goal is to control you ultimately.
Okay,
It
so
works. It's an old
I'm just getting a hold of James real quick because he said he's really tired. I'm like, we only have like 37 minutes left. Well, it'd be nice to just see him. Not trying to be making him feel guilty, but I also have something to say about this love bombing thing because I think I might be guilty. But before
if you
I admit
weren't
to,
doing it intentionally, then you're not guilty.
no, I'm not. It's like subconscious or like because of things that happen in my life. Well, hold on one second. All right, so I've caught myself because I don't know, I think I'm like a love addict, and if I feel like I'm not getting that love or attention, I
Everyone
reach
is.
out. Yeah, and I reach out and I grab onto different people, and then they're
Everyone
like,
is.
bam, bam, bam. Like, they're totally into what I'm saying. They're totally into me. And then I'm just like, oh my God, like, I did the wrong thing. I'm not supposed to do this. And I'm so sorry. Like, I get really, really disappointed in myself and really like, what the fuck just happened? But it's just like subconsciously for me. I don't know how to explain it. It's quite complicated. But I feel I'm
But
seeing
that's
it.
not love bombing.
To me, it is because it's like, how many different people have I talked to that are just like really into me? Because when I get really, really drunk and I'm just like, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. When certain things happen, then they're all messaging me and then I'll have to let them down. Like, I'm
Not the
sorry.
same.
Okay. So,
Love
what
bombing
exactly
is
is love
intentional.
bombing?
It's intentional to get usually a female or someone attached in order to lock them down and control them ultimately.
So, kind of narcissistic?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
It's correct. Yeah, so no, that's not it at all. I promise you. That's why I don't even like to use those terms because they're not always true. Like you have to really, really, really dig deep to see the differences, and you can't really see the differences from the outside. You have to kind of be in it or have experienced something like
Mhm.
that in order to kind of identify it. And to make things even more exciting, like, or complicated rather. Not all narcissistic people do the love bombing thing. So it's like,
It's
and not all people who love bomb are narcissistic. So it's like, I don't even like to
just
use those terms, but
want love.
that's the best way you can describe it. I think everyone's a little bit of everything, honestly, as
Well, it's
far as
funny
like,
because, like,
you
on
know,
my YouTube
these
feed, I get,
terms. Everyone's a
"Are
little
you a
ADD, everyone's a little,
narcissistic?"
all of those things.
Yeah, and then it shows like this and this and that, and that. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. So I think you're right. I ain't narcissistic, but at the same time, why is this shit showing up on my YouTube feed? What are you trying to tell me? Are you narcissistic? Are you doing this and this and that and that? Well, a couple of those things, but like not all of those things. I don't think I'm narcissistic. I think I'm a romanticist or a love addict or something. I just need. But I'm a giver. So how the frack do you get around that? I don't know. To me, I'm kind of perturbed. What is going on today? Did you see what the hell happened with Joe Biden and Donald Trump?
I
That was
couldn't
sad.
watch it. I tried.
I tuned in for the last like 10 minutes of it, and then they're like, hey, Joe, don't go anywhere. We're going to tune back in with this. I walked away, went to the bathroom, etc., and then came back, and I didn't see it, but the next day saw it on YouTube where his wife, the doctor, had to come and grab him and be like, let's go, honey boo boo child, and took him off stage. Like, I know he wants to be president. I know he wants to be the certain person. But guess what? You have like Alzheimer's or dementia or something. Let it go. Let somebody else come in. But he's like, no, I'm just going to keep fighting fucking Trump to the end. Let it go, dude. Let it go. Let somebody else come in. Because otherwise, if we get Bobby Kennedy in, I'll be A-okay. If we get Trump in again, fuck that shit. I ain't down. I don't like liars.
I just miss
But
the days when people spoke eloquently and
I know.
at least made it exciting and at least had some form
respect.
of hope or relevant, some sort of a relevant, I don't know, promise to get people's. I mean, that was just. I couldn't even watch it. I think a lot of people. I turned it on for a few minutes. I'm like, oh no, I can't. I
Yeah,
cannot
I was
sit
so
through this.
grateful.
I
I was
cannot
like,
do it.
holy shit, it was supposed to happen tonight. So
I
I
will see
caught the
all the
last 10
highlights later.
minutes. Yeah, I caught the last 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't catch the rest. And then next day, you're getting the highlights. So it's okay you missed it. But I think I hit the worst
Totally.
parts at the very end where he's just like, we really beat up Medicare. Or stuff like that. Like
The highlights were
and they're
quite
like,
dim.
yeah, he has a cold and dementia or Alzheimer's, something. Poor guy. And for them to be like, we're gonna stay behind this guy. He's our Democratic choice. Are you fucking serious? All of you should quit being pussies and stand together and say, we need another choice. Yes, we love you, Mr. President. We don't want to disrespect you, but you've gotten to an age where you're a little bit off. Remember when you shit on stage right next to the French president? I think you need to step aside and let somebody else step in. That was so freaking
That was
embarrassing.
quite a clip.
Not just for him,
It's
but
kind of
for
funny, though.
us. We're the country behind him. Like,
Yeah.
yes, he shit his pants. No, we don't accept it, but what are we to do? Let's elect somebody else to be the Democratic person. I'm not a Democrat. Like I said, I'll vote for Mr. Kennedy over here. Fuck all these other guys, but man, it's got to be somebody else besides Biden. Yes, I love you, Mr. President, but please If you're tired, be quiet and go to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. I just can't take it seriously anymore. I don't think I really did, but
The only
yeah, it was
time I
pretty
was proud
brutal.
of
It
it was
was
the whole Obama thing, but otherwise it's just like, what the fuck is happening? And no matter who the president is, they're just a puppet. There's other powers behind the
it did not
lines.
give the American people hope, I will tell you that. It
Mm-mm.
just did not give anyone hope
Well, that's where I'm
on
like, we
either
need another
side.
Kennedy. And I ain't talking about Bobby, but I'm like, can we have another JFK? Well, Bobby's cool. I just hate the way. Okay, so I go to church with a chick that has the same voice thing, and when she talks, it's like, what? Like, it kind of skips around, and she can't help it. It's some sort of,
Stutter.
yeah, some sort of voice thing, like, where your vocal cords are like, what? And it's hard to listen to, but at the same time, you're really, really paying attention. So that could be a good thing, really. If you have that sort of. So if he's like strongly saying something, it sounds really good and clear. But if he's talking and trying to do an approach, it's like, what? It's kind of hard to get used to, but at the same
Yeah,
time, this guy can do 70 plus fucking pull ups, 200 plus fucking sit ups. Like, this guy is the most fit person to be in the presidency than Trump, the motherfucking liar, and Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe. And they're not allowing him to be in there to, what is it, argue or negate, or what is the word?
debate.
Debate. He is the best person to be in
Mm-hmm.
debate. And they're like, nope, you're independent. Sorry, we can't allow that. You're not Democratic or Republican. Why? Why do we put ourselves in this little fucking cell when we can be bigger? So, I don't know. I'm hoping people will vote for the turd. I
The
think he'd be
Corporation
better.
of America. I'm thinking about golfing now.
Yeah, I heard Joe Biden and Mr. Trump talk about it, and I'm pretty sure you fuck both of them up. Hmm?
I wonder if more people will golf just because of that.
I will mini golf. I ain't gonna get on a field, but I'll mini golf.
Yeah. I'll mini golf with you. Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's go for real. It's the only one I know of right now is right next to Sirius Texas Barbecue, so we'll order some barbecue and get some extra pickles or something. But yeah, they have a whole little golf
I want to
thing.
go to a rage room. Have you ever seen those?
Where you can break glass and shit?
I think they're called, yeah,
Yes. Is there one down there?
yes. Oh yeah, I haven't been to it. I mean, there's probably more than one. I don't really know. But I live in a barn, so I feel like I could just do that here.
Yeah, well, I live right next to an LDS
There's something I could
church
break
and a
in here.
Baptist church, so and Ron scare me. I'm kind of skirt. I always said I ain't skirt, but I'm kind of skirt being between these three. Baptist church, Mormon church, and Ron scare me. I am actually thinking doing some golf balls and hitting them towards Ron Scaremy's house could be particularly a good thing. Just kidding, not saying that. Please don't do a future lawsuit against me for that. Ron Scaremy,
For
it's
legal
just an accident.
purposes,
It's just an
this is all
accident. We didn't
opinion,
intend.
none of
Yeah.
it facts.
We totally
This is
didn't intend
satire.
that to happen, my friend. You're so right, Mia. You're so right. Sorry. So sorry. Sorry, I have an itch in my eye. Yeah. That's how I feel about Ron Scare Me. Yeah, my kids are more violent. I'm like, you guys need to tune yourselves down. They're like, me. Shh. Be calm. Yeah. Hughes.
I don't know.
What about man, the whole solar.
You could always rejoin the military.
No. Guess what? I'm out the age.
Let out
And
your
did you
rage.
hear? They're actually doing it. They're actually making people sign up. If you're between this age and this age, so it's 18 to 28 or something like that, you must admit yourself to
Well,
the
they
military.
passed a bill. I think it basically is just a bill that if there was a draft that they
Yeah,
would
because there
be
is.
drafted, but we're not going to have one of those for a while.
Dude,
I don't
they're
think.
already going.
It's
This
possible.
has been happening for a long time, and I hate to say this, and it makes me sound like we've said before.
It's because no one's signing up. They're offering bonuses and stuff. I'm like, I'm considering it. I'm like,
they're gonna
let's
do that.
it.
Because guess what?
Why
You're
not?
gonna die, and they won't have to fucking pay it. No, that's not okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got. Okay, we've talked about this before many, many times. We got Russia. We have Japan. We have China. We have, okay, so Russia, China, America. Okay, so in between that is Russia, Ukraine, China, Japan, China, all these different places. Like, all these different people are having little fucking fights. There's something behind it. There's a lot of shit happening. Now they're doing a draft. Why the fuck you doing a draft? Because, okay, Sleepy Joe.
They're not doing one. They just signed a bill saying that they would be able to.
Yeah, they're doing it. It's out. I got it in my email. If you're this age or above to this point, you must enlist. I'm like, are you freaking serious? But no, it's like Sleepy Joe, Putin, fucking China. It's just like that one guy said. It would be America, Russia, and Japan. That's World War III. But guess what? It's not just that. Singapore, all these different places, like so many different other people are in there, but this is the nucleus of it. I don't like it. I'm just grateful, like my two youngest are really young, but then my two oldest are in the time frame. But it says males, so perhaps I'm safe because mine are female. I don't know. Pretty soon they're going to be like, okay, we don't have enough males. Now we need the females. Are you frickin' serious? What? I don't know. It really scares me because,
Well, they're just,
like I said,
it's selective. They're not actually drafting. It means you have
they
to sign
are.
up. So if there is a draft,
There is. Because
where are
guess
they
what,
going?
sister? I've been watching this forever. China, Russia, their buddies. America over here being a fucking dumbass because Sleepy Joe is running shit. And it's funny because, like, Sleepy Joe really
Let's
isn't.
relocate
It's the
to
puppet
space.
master. Can we? Or can we just go to... I would like to go to Alaska or maybe... I don't want to go Antarctica. It's too cold. Alaska, Hawaii? Mokulakahiki? Come on, you want to leave me?
Alaska's way too cold.
Yeah, well, not as cold as, the other place, but...
Maybe Costa Rica, Nicaragua, or
Well, did you see how Russia took its
space.
freaking military ship to Cuba? They're like, hey, come on, check out our ship. Take a roam around. What do you think? Like, wow, this is really nice. This is really cool. Why the fuck? Okay, so they're like, oh, we're just here in Cuba to just show off our nuclear powers and such. We're not just here at Cuba because we're about to blow the shit out of you. We're just here, doing field trips. Field trips. Okay, Putin.
Fear mongering.
So super smart. Yeah, you're so super smart, mofo. That that scared me. Like, my panties actually fell off. I had to pull them back up. And I'm like, Putin, what the fuck are you doing? Really? You gonna go down there to Cubana, and threaten me? Are you trying to
Daddy
threaten me
Putin,
right
don't
now?
come a shooting.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. What do you do? I don't know. I'm kind of scared. I don't want to admit it, but I have realistic expectations. And, like, as far as shit that's been happening with Ukraine and Russia and China and all those metaphors, I'm just like, this is not going to turn out good. And then the way we've just been feeding and feeding and feeding, and then America's like, it's okay. You can use our weapons across the lines. It's okay. Then once that happened, that's when the Russian submarine went to Cuba. I'm like, hey, you think that's pretty cute? Guess what? Now we're visiting Cuba, and they're checking out our ship, and we're checking you out. Yeah. Putin is not a dumbass. I don't believe he should still be in power, but he's pretty freaking smart. And then he's got China behind him, and all the sanctions and shit we've put towards them. It's not okay. Like, we've been burning a lot of bridges. Not okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point I'm just mentally preparing. Like, I guess I'm ready for war. Let's go.
Well, you know what? I've been dealing with war my whole life, so high five.
There you
But I
go.
don't want my kids to have to go through it. Like, I'm willing to do it, but leave my kids out of it.
Totally. I don't know if it's true, but I heard there's like a senior program within the military.
A senior one?
I don't know if this is...
Like a kamikaze?
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not.
Kamikaze,
I don't
senior.
know. I don't...
You know what? I would love to hear about that, because I could totally see that. Like,
Yeah.
my loved one
I'm
died,
not
I have no
sure.
family left, I'm just like ready to kamikaze, let's go.
I think they have like how would they pass the physical part? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I could be wrong.
Okay, guess what? So, I've seen a lot of things as far as
Okay.
like, not just the military,
For
but the police
civilian roles,
officers.
okay.
So, not only military, but police officers.
I trust the
super
seniors.
fat.
They're tough.
Yeah, me too. And they're so fucking intelligent. This is before leaded gasoline. I just saw this today. Like, people that were there for leaded gasoline and those unleaded. So, people from 70 whatever to this point are pretty dumb. The other people are okay. I'm like, pretty sure I'm smarter than these motherfuckers. But anyways, there's leaded, unleaded gasoline. There's the people before that. The World War II, World War One. No, basically World War II, but they're so freaking smart and strategic, and they're going to tear some shit up. Swear to God.
That's what I'm saying. Like my grandpa, he
Mhm.
would definitely F some stuff up. He's ready.
My grandpa Cookie. Then I got my, oh my gosh. I can't think of his name. Okay, so I was telling my son recently about him because my son has 6 fingers on his right hand. His great grandpa, not even blood lineage, but adoption. So my blood lineage married his or her blood lineage, and that person had 6 fingers. Like, how the fuck does that work? But I was like, guess what? Your great-great-grandpa or your great-grandpa, it was great, has 6 fingers on his right hand. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, it's your grandpa RB. He was in World War II, and he was a fucking badass. He's just sitting there, and Italy, crossing his legs, and yeah, totally awesome. Totally awesome. But I feel bad for Floyd
we're
because
basically
go ahead.
we're softies compared to the generations before us. And I was thinking about this actually the other day, just like how women did not have any rights or options for like a long time and like literally everywhere. And just like what the options were. I think about that a lot, what the options would be as a woman like 100 years ago even, or like
Right?
even much, much longer than that. Like you got to be married off, you're forced into prostitution, you have like very little options. And then to boot, you have to bear children, and the death rate of just giving birth, how high that would be. And there was
Oh
no
my
birth
gosh.
control. And so
Yeah.
like what did those prostitutes do? Did they all just like what did they do? Like I don't want to know, but I kind of do. Like what like because they had to
Well,
be
yeah.
did they have contraception back then?
I
Like
don't
I
think
don't know.
so.
Like it freaks me out. Like what? And then I'm just like I'm so thankful, regardless of all the issues and all of the, you know, flaws and defects of living in this generation, which there are lots. Yeah, the options are a lot better now for the female folks than they were
Right?
in almost every part of the world at almost
Well,
any
it's-
given time before now.
yeah. Very difficult.
So yeah.
Well, I think you're really on top of
Like
it
even
as far
China,
as
like they killed like female babies in China and like
forever.
just I don't know. And still in certain parts of the world, just even the location, like it does make me thankful to be here instead of certain places. Not everywhere, but a lot of places.
Right? Well, I hate to cut it off, but we do have to go to our second music break. So if you're down, let's do this. We'll come back for a really short outro as far as like what we're talking about, but on this break we have King Cinnamon with Rose. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Oh yeah, it's Funky on the beat.
Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Cinnamon, cinnamon, do it softly. I said you wine your body, eat a sweetie, sweetie. Make it rock my body, I am feeling horny. Make it touch my body, I am feeling sweetie. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. All my men, they wear out. All my guys, they wear out. Imarama, Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Imarama, Rosie. All my men, they wear out. All my guys, they wear out. Imarama, Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Imarama, Rosie. Mukomukeji, go bere muketa. Oya mukomukeji, oya bere muketa. Daddy mu, ekon, omo ni kwa mukeji. Daddy bere muketa, omo ni fumi lẹ́yìn. Daddy fisi, omo ni ejo. Daddy saucy, omo ni ejo. Daddy kosi, omo ni ejo. Daddy turn pussy, omo ni ejo. Daddy and his baby, them there for corner. Daddy begin the touch, and the girl the holler. Nine daddy begin the open the shirt collar. Nine something come, daddy begin the sucker. Daddy mu, ekon, omo ni kwa mukeji. Daddy bere muketa, omo ni fumi lẹ́yìn. Daddy fisi, omo ni ejo. Daddy saucy, omo ni ejo. All my men they guero. All my guys they guero. Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. All my men they guero. All my guys they guero. Imarama, Rosie. Imarama, Rosie. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Cinnamon, do it softly. I said you wine your body, eat a sweetie. Make it rock my body, I am feeling horny. Make it touch my body, I am feeling sweetie. Suck my boobs, you got my body loose. Anytime you talk me, you got me confused. Suck my boobs, you got my body but now you got me confused. Kissy, amani, ejo, daddy saucy, amani, ejo, daddy pussy, amani, ejo, daddy come here pussy, amani, ejo, daddy contact, amani, ejo, daddy comfort, daddy consist, amani, ejo, daddy con 8, daddy 120, amani, ejo, daddy 18, daddy 240, amani, ejo, daddy 36. Daddy and the baby, them there for corner. Daddy begin the touch and the girl the holler. Daddy begin the open the shell. I come to come. Daddy begin the sucker. Daddy move, echo. I'm on the cage. Daddy bere muketa. I'm on the fumile. Daddy fisi. I'm on the edge. Daddy saucy. I'm on the edge. All my men they wear out. All my guys they wear out. Imarama.
Oh yeah, it's funky on the beat.
Yeah. Oh Lord, strong light. We are ready to fight. Hard life for my people. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know why my people live this life. The obstacle we face, yeah, is Babylon. The world is a good place, yeah, for our freedom. You take everything, you don't read anything, yeah. Strong life, oh, not dread. We don't want to talk. No, it's time to fight, yeah. We stop talking. Babylon make you suffer. 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 What is desire? Strong life. We are ready to fight. Hard life for my people. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know how to fight. 'Cause my people suffer. What do you want, Babylon? I don't understand why this world is so strange with my people. I don't know to fight, but if we are together, it will work. It will work. Babylon no have no heart. 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 My people, you have to survive. Yeah, you must rebuild you and make your own way. You must not give up. The beginning of the revolt will start. We need to follow our true destiny. Whoa. Yeah. I don't know why my people live this life. I don't know why my people live this life. The obstacle we face, yeah, is Babylon. The world is a good place, yeah, for our Babylon make you suffer. Babylon make you suffer. Babylon